Venezuelan migrants who were flown to Martha's Vineyard over the weekend are suing Florida Governor Ron DeSantis for a fraudulent scheme to relocate them. The lawsuit alleges the migrants who are in the country legally were told that they were going to Boston or Washington. They wound up in Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts instead. Meanwhile, a Texas sheriff says that he's opening up an investigation into the flights. Javier Salazar says that he's looking for the people who approached the migrants and paid them to board the plane to Martha's Vineyard.
Somebody came from out of state, preyed upon these people, lured them with promises of a better life, which is what they were absolutely looking for, with the knowledge that they were going to cling to whatever hope they could be offered for a better life, to just be exploited and hoodwinked into making this trip to Florida and then onward to Martha's Vineyard for what I believe to be nothing more than political posturing.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is claiming responsibility for the flights that went to the vineyard as part of what he called an effort to transport illegal immigrants to sanctuary destinations. But the migrants are here legally. They are awaiting a court decision on their asylum request. And good for those migrants. I'm not sure who the person is that helped them gather this all together, but good for them because, I mean, just imagine being displaced. There was a video of a young baby, 1 month old, that literally was on a plane and is in a whole nother state. Not that they know where they are, but the point is that you have a mother that has a baby that is only 1 month old that was seeking a better life so desperately that they were willing to hop on a plane and now look just completely displaced with a 1 month old. And so good for the people who gathered together to file this class action lawsuit because it is well deserved, and I hope that they get every single penny that they're asking for.
Yeah, I hope they get every single penny they're asking for too. The irony about this whole situation is that they were saying that Martha's Vineyard has some of the best immigration attorneys ever. And so sending them there really just pissed them off to the point where they are like, we're going to fight, we're going to help you, and we're going to make sure that you get everything that you deserve. And so after this announcement was made of the class action suit, Governor Ron DeSantis, he went on Fox News and he was saying how the migrants signed paperwork agreeing to go on the flight. However, we all know that they did not know what they were signing. And we know that they were lied to. And so he's now circulating the paperwork that they signed saying that they can't sue him because they gave away or they signed permission to go. So we'll see how this plays out.
I think about this and what they're doing in these red states. We talk about Texas and Florida. They send them to different cities, have everyone where they're not supposed to be. The fact is they're here legally, right? So if they come into Florida, if they come into Texas, they'll change the commands and work that out to make things go smoothly. However, will this backfire on the Republicans when it comes to the midterms? Because I really feel like DeSantis and, of course, the governor from Texas is doing this to try and stir up and get the voters to be like, oh, no, the country's a mess. What's going on with the Democratic Party? Let me vote. Let me go red, right? But I really feel like it may backfire because there are some people that live in suburbs that do have a heart and have common sense and will realize what they're doing is totally wrong. So
you know, the other crazy thing, too, about that, Romeo, is if they're here legally, so if they were here, remember the point that I started and then I stopped, so about voting rights, right? So if they were here illegally and they weren't able to vote, then it's like, you know, let's get these people out of here. We don't need them. You know, they can't vote. Their vote doesn't matter. But if they're here legally and they have the opportunity to vote, then it's like, okay, I want to get these people out of here because they might be swayed to vote against me. And so I definitely think that all of this is a master plan that comes back down to voting, but it's all backfiring on him because what happens in the dark always comes through in the life, and comes through in the light, and I'm happy that those at Martha's Vineyard, Mimi, back to your point, took care of those people and didn't treat them like they were nothing. I'm happy for that as well.
And I think it also goes back to the interview I just did with Roland Martin, to white fear, right? So the more others that you let into this country, the more certain people feel that they're going to be erased. And so I think all of that just plays into what we're seeing now.
Absolutely.
I agree.
That is a great point.